Yeah. Happy New Year, happy Sunday. My dear brothers and sisters, sometimes the Spirit continues to inspire us. These few days, one of the realities I discovered about life is also that of trying to find meaning in life, find meaning in who we are. Today, the first Sunday of Advent, I just want to share some moment of discussion with my brothers after I had conversation with two of my friends yesterday on issue of discernment, on crisis which we have in life when life no longer makes meaning. So as you can see, I'm a priest. We are priests. We are just three friends. I just saw casually. I said, let's have maybe a little discussion. How do you people feel about this issue of crisis? Because I know I went through it many times. Even as a priest, I still have crisis of, did I make the real choice? Is this where I will find real happiness? So I just want to, my brother, what do you think about crisis? How do you feel that one can resolve it? I know we'll have, it is just casual talks, they're not things that are prepared, but one inspiration can come out, something good may be there. So what do you think about this issue of crisis, especially for this our life, please? I don't know. What do you think?
Thank you very much for this privilege to share a little bit of my story also. I personally would like to say that every vocation is a gift that is born from above, because not everyone has to go to the seminary. I want to become a priest. So if it is a choice that some people make, it means that something puts that in them to make that choice. And so after making that choice, what you should ask yourself is the motivation, the reason. What is the source of my vocation? Why did I become a priest? Why did I choose to go to the seminary? For me, I would say it's my happiness and my joy, my peace. When I was a young boy, after my catechism and baptism, and also becoming an altar server, I always wanted to be a medical doctor.
Really?
Yes, as a young boy, even as at senior secondary school.
Wow.
But after a few years serving around the altar as an altar server, there was this sense of joy and happiness in going for mass, in visiting the Blessed Sacrament at the chapel, in experiencing and encountering Jesus in different ways through my service. So I didn't ever feel that there should be anything taking me away from that environment, from the house of God, from the church. So that was just the nature of my vocation, where it was born. And at every given time that I experienced crisis in the seminary or wherever I found myself during my vocation as a seminarian, the discernment that I had to go through was going back to my roots. What was the source of my vocation? Why did I choose to become a priest in the first place? Where did I get that inspiration, that motivation, that joy and peace that I experienced from that first encounter? It was all that became a turning point for me. And I would like to say that the coming of Jesus at Advent makes it very clear and good for me to understand that I must always stay at the foot of the cross, at the foot of Jesus.
Okay, what do you, thank you for also trying to share. What do you think about this issue of life, vocation, Christian life, and crisis? I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's interesting, yeah, because when you talk about crisis, people are always thinking it's something extraordinary.
Yeah.
But for me, I think crisis is part of the vocation.
Yeah.
Yeah, once there is a vocation, because a vocation is also like a school. the school of discipleship, for instance. So the process of becoming a disciple of Jesus is a journey, and it's like a journey with Jesus in the boat. You remember that brand of the Bible? I think Matthew also reports that when Jesus and the apostles are in the boat and then in the sea. So it's like you've just decided to follow him, and suddenly the one you have chosen to follow is sleeping and you are perishing. It's like, really? I've left everything to follow you and you don't care. So you see, they're like, Master, don't you care? We are perishing. So for me, that's the point of crisis there. You are with Jesus in the boat, but at some point you feel you are perishing, perhaps because of whatever storm it is. I don't know. It could be the storm of many types of vocational crisis. So those are the storms that come to shake the boat of the vocation. So, but it is at that point that you see that this journey has some moments of feeling lost. But what is important there is the behavior of the disciples. They were professional fishermen, but they don't jump into the water to do it. The Italians will say da soli.
To follow that soul.
They don't jump in to do it on their own.
To resolve it by their
Yeah,
own.
but they turn to Jesus and they wake him and say, Master, do you not care? We are perishing. For me, every vocational crisis should always have that point. Like you don't jump
I believe that
out.
our voice is clear. Okay, continue.
You don't jump out of the boat to do it on your own, that's solo.
Yeah.
No, but you turn back to the one who, Master, don't you care? We are perishing. And somehow he would calm it. It is at this point that I like to say, because during vocational crisis there is something that is very common.
Yeah.
It is like feeling abandoned, feeling that God is silent, is not speaking. So, but I like to say that the silence of God is not the absence of God. He is there, but he might be silent.
Like him sleeping.
And that leads to a second point about vocational crisis I want to speak about. Like, every crisis comes in to teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
And in that case, in the Bible, it was the lesson of faith. And Jesus told the men of little faith.
Yeah.
So every vocational crisis comes in with its own lesson. And until you learn that lesson, the crisis will not disappear. The crisis is not for you to jump out of the journey of the discipleship. No, it is for you to stay in there and discover the lesson. And that leads us to discernment.
Yeah.
I see it as this tree right now. You can see them. There is one of my poems I say, liveless, not lifeless. So there is a point in this vocation whereby you have all the leaves green with the fruits. There is a temptation of thinking that because you are the branch, you are the one carrying the leaves and the fruits, then you want to break out and live on your own. But I just see the leaves begin to dry off. Because Jesus says, cut off from me, you can do nothing. And there is also another temptation at this point when the leaves are going off.
Yeah.
You feel so dry, nothing at all, no green. There is also a temptation of falling off.
Yeah.
But we can learn from this tree. It will remain like this until primavera, spring.
Comes,
until spring comes and the rain comes again and the leaves. So it is leafless but not lifeless. So at some point in our vocation, we also become leafless but not lifeless. All we need to do is to remain in Him, in the one who has called us, in Jesus, to remain in the boat patiently, waiting for Him to send the rain so that we can sprout up again. So that's my own conception of this. Every vocational crisis comes with a lesson because it is a journey of discipleship. And then we have to allow Jesus to teach us in different ways. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate this our moment. Even if we continue to talk, we can't exhaust the spirit that comes to us to encourage us. But so many things are important: happiness, which my brother talked about, discernment. But within ourselves, within that core who calls us, because God is deep within. What has God given me?
Life has no meaning if we do not use things for their reasons. For their reasons. God blesses people with so many things. Some are blessed with the gift of voice. This is someone who has a gift of voice, who can sing. If he doesn't express himself where he sings, the person will not find that real deep happiness. There are people who play, maybe they play keyboard, those who are artists. Imagine someone who can draw and he is placed in a place where he's just working, making money without expressing himself, without giving.
He's not even happy.
Without generating, because the issue is generation, giving those gifts that we received gratuitously. And
Putting
so,
at the service.
I'm putting it, yeah, now I come. Some of us, the people who are born at maybe Fulani camp, that they didn't have the experience and the formation some people received. Some people were gifted to have been trained in a good family. They have the heart of noticing that things are bad. They have a heart of compassion for people. They desire that things get better. Now, maybe in Nigeria, for example, I'm talking about the churches. I don't want to enter into those areas. But you see, most of us are complaining. But there is already a system that gives you opportunity to serve, to reach out to people, that gives you opportunity to live this life of goodness, this solution that we need to the different problems. I'm not just about complaining about them. And I feel the priesthood gives that opportunity to the maximum, that you can't even maximize it. Anywhere you are as a priest, there are people that you are encountering just by living that your normal life. Their normal life, discussing with people, the way we share our friendship, the way we just crack jokes, stay with people, visit people, stay with people. Then with that, your heart of love. So, but then also we discuss, because sometimes we can be tempted if we continue to purify this our heart, always in the Lord who calls us, and respond to His call every time. I feel that we will have that real deep happiness that we are seeking. It turns into love, because life comes with love.
So love alone is credible.
Love
Solo
alone.
l'amore
Only love. Only love answers this.
I think that is Hans from
so because love.
I like the expression.
And some of us might be thinking that love is all these boyfriend, girlfriend. Most of them I have seen is just transactionalism. Many people in marriage don't have love. They're just doing business because you promised me marriage, or because I feel you will marry me, then I will smile at you. But if someone says me hi and I feel I will not get marriage, then those things are pure business. They have nothing to do with love. So, but if you freely love, give that your heart of love to service, to people, responding to God, that thing you received in being privileged, maybe to be trained in a particular family, and you are able to give it to people any place. You're working in an institution, you're working in a parish, you're working any place. I feel that, or even going outside, maybe to raise a family, but the major thing is love, being able to respond to situations where there are needs. I feel that when we have real that joy. So, just to summarize what I just made now, if now I have like 10 gifts, I can play music, I love to see people happy, I can visit people, maybe some of us even, maybe like seminarians, some going for apostolic work, you're able to touch lives. You see where people are quarreling, you talk, people are able to enter into joy, into peace, people are able to see light. I had all these capacities in me. Do I make a good choice if I leave this and go and maybe limit myself to my wife, my children, make money? Yeah, if I just give money to people, am I happy that I'm giving money to someone who is confused, doesn't have education, and this person is educated? Which one gives me maximum happiness? So with that, just as also when things are difficult, the difficult moments will be there, our weaknesses will be there. But don't forget that priests are not angels, my dear brothers. We are sinners. I did that when I was reading this Call of Levi, what stopped me was the fact that our qualification is that we are sinners. Jesus said, I did not come because it was Aristo in Elton. I didn't come to call
Uk Elton.
Ut Elton.
I have no
See,
idea.
Kalesei, Dikaios. I didn't come to call sinners.
righteous.
See, Ahala, Harmatolos,
Yeah.
about sinners. I've come to call sinners. So
Harmatolos.
every moment, God calls us again. So I wish that His love comes to purify us, to call us to that
Okay.
love again. So that
Thank you.
Talk so much.
Let
So
me
thank-
admire my trees.